Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. Today we have an opportunity to remember and recognize my good friend and someone who most of you knew, Ben Westlund. I want to point out that, and I want to thank the President for moving this up today. This has been done for the family. I understand that Ben's daughter, Taylor, who is graduating from Summit High School this year, has a skip day today. So that's why we moved everything up, so the whole family could be here. On the side aisle is his wife, Libby, his son, BJ, Taylor there at the end, his brother, Richard, and Richard's wife, Jana. We welcome you to the Capitol this morning. And we'll try to make this a day of remembrance and something of joy for us, remembering a great guy. You all know that Ben and I were very close. We were close friends. He was like a brother to me here in the years we spent in the Capitol and other places. Ben was a bit of a jokester, to say the least. He had a great sense of humor. He loved this process. He loved being in the House. He loved being a senator. And he loved being the treasurer of the state. He would commonly call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, as he was an invertebrate night owl. Thought the 2 a.m. phone calls were appropriate because his favorite doctor was up anyway, he figured. I often try to call him at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. His phone was always turned off. He thought getting up at the crack of noon was about the right time for a man to start his day. He occasionally would be up earlier, but not often. I've spent many great hours with Ben at his home in Bend, Oregon, with his wife and family and kids. They're a wonderful, wonderful family. Stayed with him through the end, of course, and supported him through his last years. I'm going to start this. Senator Telfer, I expect we'll finish it. I could stand here for probably an hour and a half and tell you stories about Ben Westlund, but I'm just going to read the resolution. Those of you who might want to say a few words will have an opportunity to. I'd like to have Senator Telfer finish. There will be a ceremony at noon today in the governor's office for the signing of the resolution. So I'll just go ahead and read. In memoriam, Ben Westlund, 1949 to 2010. Whereas Ben Westlund was born on September 13, 1949 in Long Beach, California, and passed away on March 7, 2010 in Bend, Oregon, and whereas Ben Westlund moved to Oregon as a teen with his parents, Bernard, Bud, and Dorothy Westlund, and his two brothers, Richard and Morris. And whereas Ben Westlund graduated from Whitman College in 1972, where he earned degrees in education history, and we might note, tried to jump the pond with his car, almost made it, but took the undercarriage off that vehicle as he tried to zip across it one dark night. And whereas Ben Westlund married his wife, Libby Bishop, a high school classmate in 1987, and after selling their registered Hereford herd in 1990, they settled on the banks of the Deschutes River in Tumalo, where they had two children, BJ and Taylor. And whereas Ben Westlund had a number of successful private sector businesses before he entered public service, including a mining venture, a marketing company, Eastern Oregon Cattle Ranch, and cattle genetics operation. I'm sure other people know what that means. It's a way of passing around the good stuff. And whereas the best-known prize-winning Hereford bull was named Reggie. And whereas Ben Westlund was a lifetime fan of baseball and especially of the Los Angeles Dodgers, was also part owner in the 1990s of a minor league baseball team called the Bend Bandits. And whereas Ben Westlund was convinced by his friend Lynn Lundquist to run for the Legislative Assembly and was elected to the Oregon House of Representatives in 1996, and whereas Ben Westlund was appointed to the Senate in 2003 and successfully won election to the seat in 2004 with the endorsement of both Republican and Democratic parties. And whereas Ben Westlund, in his 12 years in the Legislative Assembly, was a co-chairperson of the Joint Ways and Means Committee during the state's 2001 fiscal crisis and spearheaded legislation that created the Oregon Rainy Day Fund and Public Safety Memorial Fund and the Oregon Cultural Trust. And whereas Ben Westlund advocated for access to higher education for Central Oregon and was a chief legislative advocate for the creating the Cascade campus at Oregon State University, and whereas Ben Westlund valued good policy above politics, and implored the Legislative Assembly in 2003 to, quote, stop being politicians who think only of the next election and start being statesmen who think of the next generation. And whereas Ben Westlund put people before politics and could not be defined by political party, and in his career was a Republican, an Independent, and a Democrat. And whereas Ben Westlund, as a moderate Republican in 2005, bucked partisan divides and co-sponsored legislation to give marriage and marriage like rights to same-sex couples. I'm going to stop there and let Senator Telfer finish the whereases. Simply say that in the end, sometimes the best thing you can say about a man is whether he was your friend. Thank you.